Okay, give me 1 second while I invite my co-host here.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Okay. Well, we're doing a live. Hey, everybody. I still am not at 1,000 people, so we are still on AJ Epic's Epic Instagram account. We just did our top 10 of the year. So now we are going to talk about movie news. We don't really have that much movie news. It's mostly going to be us talking about the Oscar nominations, our predictions, and maybe any controversial views we have about it. But for anybody who is out there watching, if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and we will, as always, answer. If not, and you're watching this on the replay, I hope we're entertaining. So, without further ado, should we start with the few news stories we have, or should we go straight into the Oscars?
Start with the news stories.
Okay, again, this is Unfinished Business Television Live. Um, First, we have finally found out, allegedly, supposedly, what it was behind the Safdie brothers split. And boy, is it a doozy. It's apparently when they were making the film Good Time with Robert Pattinson, who should be noted was not on set at the time of this incident, there was a scene where Buddy Duress's character, who's just straight out of prison, has sex with a prostitute. Now, in the finished film, it's not the actress who that this controversy is surrounding, but supposedly a 17-year-old was hired to play the role of the prostitute, did not know she was going to be naked in the film, and thought her scene was going to be with Robert Pattinson, and ended up being with Buddy Duress, who unfortunately has now passed away and had just gotten out of prison, like his character, and was high at the time on the set. And he basically asked her if he could stick it in. And, that was sent, obviously, should have halted production either way. But the film was eventually the scene was eventually filmed, and that was taken out of editing. Plus, the controversy is that the producer, who used to be associated with Alara Pictures, uh, continued to date and have sex with the girl. Underage, but the legal consenting age in New York is 17, and she was 17 at the time. This is one of many affairs he supposedly had, and also some have accused him of sexual assault. So supposedly after this, even though they did make Uncut Gems, I guess years later they decided to go their own separate ways. So I guess, Andre, did you hear the story quite the same way, or did you hear something different?
No, I heard it exactly the way you described it. It's very disturbing. It's very troubling. And we were wondering for some time why the Sardis were not working together anymore after Uncut Gems, that they all of a sudden got split up with, I believe Benny did The Smashing Machine and Josh
Mm-hmm.
did Dream. And we were talking in one of the last episodes, like you could see the clear difference in styles between them. And it seems like Josh has more of the better hand with the storytelling than Benny, who's more like the stylist. And it's just a sad shame that that had to be something that had to go down the way it did. And I think that that incident predated the whole Me Too movement. So the fact that this is coming out now, I don't think it looks good for Benny more so than it does for Josh, but I could be wrong.
Well, it looks bad for both, and of course, some people are accusing this of like dirty politics because the Oscars, so people are putting out bad stories about front runners or nominees. But also, it's just disturbing because it's one of those things like you can't get out of your head in watching any future productions by either. And it hurts Benny a little bit more because he's also an actor, writer, director, whereas Josh just stays behind the scenes. But it's also unfortunate because one of the things is Josh Safdie is behind a lot of other independent film productions. So now they're going to be kind of, I guess, a little tainted by this, but then again, it's Hollywood, so who knows? But I mean, it's just this also goes to how some actors don't like his a particular thing of hiring non-professional actors, even as background players, which again sometimes leads to surprise performances, from people you wouldn't expect, but also adds to a dangerous element because even Timothy Chalamet in a recent Q&A said like on in a scene there was a background actor who came up to him and told him like, "Hey, I just got out of jail after 30 years, so don't fuck with me." Unprompted. And so there's that element of danger, but there's also that element of unprofessionalism that can work here and there, but if you're going to make your career out of it, it might make actors want to work with you less. But since Marty Supreme's a hit, I don't think anybody's like Josh Safdie. No way. So you know the controversy there. I mean, still fuck Kevin O'Leary. But we'll get more into Marty Supreme when we talk about nominations. The other story I want to talk about is Odessa Azayan was cast recently in the director of the Iron Claw's next movie. And a lot of people were upset because, she has dark hair, kind of tannish skin. So they gave her, who is white and I believe part Jewish, a role that was written in the book as Latina. And she got on Instagram to say that she was outraged as much as everybody because she didn't know the role originated was Latina because she went in for the lead role and she got offered the supporting and she's like, okay, I'll take it. And then now just found out and this got a debate which has been around for a while. As African Americans, we know how hard it is to get like cast in a film, especially if it's not just an all African American cast. But it is true. Latin and Latina actors are having a very hard time finding roles just originally written for them that isn't, again, soaked up in culture, just trying to get into any mainstream film because Alexa does it. I don't know. I can't even remember her last name, but she's on Euphoria. Sydney Sweeney and Zendaya are getting all these roles after Euphoria, but she hasn't booked anything. And like even most of the roles she's auditioning where the characters are written as white characters. And one of the problems also is when they say all American, a lot of these directors who are white don't see her playing an all American girl just because she's Latina. But to me, that kind of defines all American even more because who else would be more all American than somebody who came here or parents came here seeking a better life and trying to do that, but are it seems like society and the world and the government is working against that now. That you're not even acknowledged. Especially, it's ironic that the president got there because of some of these people he criticizes openly and wants to openly jail, but a lot of them voted for him. So I don't know. Did you hear about this story?
I only briefly saw something about it because our mutual friend Sylvia sent me a post, and my first reaction was, "Is this 1960 all over again, where we're having to cast white and, uh, yeah, white actors playing Hispanic or playing Native American? Is that what we're coming back to?" And so, yeah, it doesn't make any sense that they would be doing something like this. And unfortunately, I can't wade too much into it because I didn't read the entire story, but
Oh,
it's messed
okay.
up.
So yeah, that is, I mean, I know we had another. Oh, did we have another news story to discuss?
Well, the He-Man trailer came out.
Uh, Yeah, unfortunately. Where you wonder who's this for? Is it for guys our age who grew up with He-Man, or is this supposed to be a kids film? And I'm just hoping, as my friend said, it's not this movie where, it's postmodern and then he only becomes He-Man in like the last 15 minutes and then fights Skeletor. And I guess, what did you think of the trailer?
I think you basically summed up what everybody is feeling online is the idea that you have certain people that feel it's got to be grounded, it's got to be serious, and then you have other people that think, well, they're trying to make it like the cartoon, and the cartoon's not going to play for people now in this modern age that we're living in. And my whole feeling is, and I've said on another show that, I don't have the the love for He-Man the way other people did growing up. I was more GI Joe, Transformers, Ghostbusters, but I've always had appreciation for it because my cousin used to collect the toys. I had a few of them, and I vaguely remember seeing the Dolph Lundgren movie in the theaters with my parents when it came out in
Oh,
'87. So, I very much and I watched the cartoon a lot too on the weekdays after school. But I will say that the thing that bothers me is the fact that you have the modern setting. And it already looks very jokey, like they're trying to get the same kind of tone as Barbie. And that rubs me a little bit the wrong way. But I still want to give it a chance because, I don't have a problem with race swapping the Man of Arms or making Kristen Wiig play the voice of Roboto. I think that's, it is what it is. It could actually end up working out because they clearly want to sell toys. They're not going to fuck that up.
of course not.
So maybe we're overlooking this a little bit. It might be more smart. And Travis Knight did Bumblebee, and I've always said that the first 3 minutes of Bumblebee were like the best Transformers movie outside of the animated 1986 film. So we'll have to wait and see.
I am a fan of the Bumblebee movie, so past the 3 minutes. I mean, my thing is this going to be like Speed Racer? Obviously there is an audience, but is that audience too old to really get into it and not want to see, it made for children? And A, there's no Orko in it. And
Now,
B,
as far as
as far as we know. B, it's crappy, but I still have a soft spot for the Masters of the Universe, the first movie, because again, that was the closest I was ever going to get to a He-Man film. So I'm a little bit interested in this, but really, other than making a sword and sandals movie like the Beastmaster, how else can you really tackle this material? Are you going to make it a fantasy epic and like Prince of Persia, only better made? Or are you going to like go into that more campy postmodern field that it looks like it's going in? Like you said, like Barbie. As long if it gets good reviews, I'm there. Plus, it's got Camila Mendez in it, so I'm there already. And I'd rather see this guy, even though I don't know who he is, he sounds more interesting than Noah Centino, who was originally supposed to do a Masters of the Universe movie for Netflix. So I'm looking forward somewhat to it. I'm not like, ooh, can't wait. I'm just more like, let's wait and see where it goes. And so hopefully we'll remember some movie news while going through the Oscar nominations. So are you ready, Andre, for this? And we're going, do you want to do like short film categories or
let's do the big ones.
okay, so writing original screenplay, the nominees are Blue Moon, It Was Just an Accident, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. Now my first question for you, did you see any of the other nominees other than Sinners?
No,
Okay, I have seen four of the films. I just didn't see Sentimental Value. So, my question for you: are you picking Sinners? That's your choice.
I think it's up there. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think it will win? And
It's got a lot of nominations, and even more so than One Battle After Another. So I think it's going to get at least half. I don't think it's going to get all of them.
um, I think it might have a chance in this category because it's one of the few where it's not going up against one battle after another. So in a perfect world, Blue Moon would, I guess, out of these choices, win best screenplay. But I think it's really going to be between I think it's going to be between Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. Those will be the three most likely, bumping each other off. I really hope Sinners does win, though. But, there's going to be people like, oh, well, it's like you said before, it's kind of like From Dusk Till Dawn. But then I could be like, well, Marty Supreme, how's an original screenplay when it's based on someone? So I could ask that question. Writers Guild, that I desperately want to be a part of. That is when we come to that. I'm just like sinners all the way. Is next writing adapted screenplay. This is a little more spicy in this one. The nominees are the film I liked, but I don't get the love for Begonia. And the same thing with Frankenstein, which is also the next nominee. Hamnet, I'll admit, didn't see. Heard some good things. One battle after another. I'm just going to predict right now the winner of this category. And Train Dreams, a film I highly recommend that people should see on Netflix. Do you have one that you think is going to win?
I didn't see all these films, but I'll just go with one battle after another.
I think so. Also, um, I really think that's going to be the winner. I think Frankenstein was like a thank you. The next category, I guess you could. I think you've seen all of these. So, visual effects. And we have Sinners, The Lost Bus, the film you saw that I didn't see. Did you see Jurassic Park Rebirth?
No, I refuse.
Okay. F1,
Yes.
Avatar, Fire and Ash.
Mm.
Okay, so those are the nominees for best visual effects. Um, if I go with the ones that I saw, which are only two movies on this list, uh, I don't think it's probably going to be something I didn't see, like Avatar. um, I would love it if it was Sinners, but I just don't think it's going to win unless it's doing a
Maybe
sweep.
I think one's going to be the outlier.
Which one?
F1.
Well, they dominated for a reason, you know. It would be nice if it got something, uh, you know. So our next category, best sound. Hey, I'm leading to something, folks. So we're going through these smaller
Hello,
ones.
Billy Boo.
Oh, hey, Billy Boom. I'm happy you are following us and you got on. Considering you keep texting me, you couldn't. So nice to know you and somebody else out there. Well, one person was watching. The other one got insulted and left. It's just like, okay. Best sound. We have F1 again. Well, I mean, come on, visual effects, are pretty much going to be a repeat. Frankenstein, one battle after another. Like they just push that in there. They're like, we nominate for everything else. Sinners and the movie I want to see, Sarat, a foreign film, and I
F1.
believe F1 again. You're going with F1. I don't know. I feel like here they might try to give one battle after another win. Like, we really want to sweep, so we're gonna give it to sound. But like you said, F1. I Well, yeah, I could see that one. Again, more than Frankenstein.
Does
And
Sean erection count as a visual effect?
I don't know. That might have been. He's natural, man. That might have been method. I mean, looking at Tiana Taylor in a tight outfit, I don't think that was hard to like make up.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
was pure method acting right there. In fact, I don't even think he was acting.
just like I don't think he was acting when he was like, "Do you like black girls? I love them." I feel like no. I think that was an improv. He was like, "That's me. I won't date him in public." So, I love me some Madonna, just like Tom Cruise likes popcorn. It's- Now, here's my question: do you think Sean Penn and Tom Cruise hang out?
They used to hang out, and he
Yeah,
defended him ouch incident.
but do you think he's
They,
still? Because I figure like Tom Cruise would be like, "You can't smoke around me, man." And we all know Sean Penn goes nowhere without cigarettes. you know, so I'm just like, I that would be one of those hangouts I really would like to witness. Like you could make a documentary about that. Like fuck Breakfast with Blasey or what's the, my dinner with Andre. Let's have Cruise Penn the brunch. There's your movie. I'm pitching it right now. If somebody wants to work on that idea with me, let's go. Or we make it like the Wrecking Crew, like Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista. And, next. I told you we'd make these Oscar nominations entertaining. Best production design. You know the usual suspects. Sinners, one battle after another. Marty Supreme, Hamnet, and Frankenstein. This is the one I think Sinners and Frankenstein are going to be battling it out for. But if I had to go with one, I'd go with Frankenstein. Frankenstein.
yeah. And
Um,
Billy, right? Tom. I almost said Tom Hanks. Tom Cruise
yes,
only
Tom
hangs
Hanks.
with technology people.
He sometimes goes out with other people, but he's still going to try and recruit you the whole time. But I feel like he knows Sean enough to know, like, you're not getting me. Everybody knows my secrets.
Yeah, Sean will pull out a knife on you.
While still smoking a cigarette somehow.
Exactly.
And if there's a blonde around, he's gonna hit on her. I'm just I'm just wondering, you think he has a workout routine or is that just old man muscles? And
I think he stays in shape.
well, I mean, if you're gonna do that, do another action type gunman movie. And like Sean Penn, work with David Ayer or well, Luke Besson, if he wants
But
to.
it's like I'll do the Liam Neeson thing, but I got to inject politics into it.
Now, see, since he almost was starred in Three Stooges, Sean Penn in The Naked Gun. He takes over Liam Neeson's role. I definitely would have
He
gone
could
to the theater to
be the
see
villain.
that. Huh? Oh, as a
He could have
villain?
been the villain. Yeah.
I feel like that's expected. It would be like Val Kilmer and MacGruber. Oh, the possibilities, though. Um, let's see, what is this? Oh, damn! I'm already at best. I'm going by the Academy site, by the way. So already best picture before we even got the best director. So there are 10 nominees. I'm going to say the movies. You'll see my critique. Best picture nominee: Begonia. F1. Frankenstein. So let's get to the real nominees. Hamnet, which I didn't see. Marty
This
Supreme. Marty Supreme. It has a chance, but it's not going. One battle after another. Come on. It's the expected winner. I'll say that. The secret
I
agent. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. Say what you gotta say.
I think it's going to be a coin toss between Sinners and One Battle After Another, and Hamnet will probably be like the outlier.
True, because there's the secret agent, which got nominated. I really wanted to see that in theaters, but I missed the window. Um, Sentimental value. It's gonna walk away with something. I feel. I don't know what though. But it ain't gonna be best picture. And Train Dreams. Oh, how one can wish, but still, I don't. I love the film, but I don't think it's strong enough to be best picture. So I'm gonna go with one battle after another. But part of me's like, Sinners, please. You know. And I think you feel the same way. And like you said, it's a coin toss. Now, here's something maybe you can get into, even though you're not into modern music. The best original song of the year. You have Train Dreams by Nick Cave, which you didn't see. Sweet Dreams of Joy by Nicholas Pike from Viva Verdi. I've never even heard of this film. So I'm like, what? I Lied to You from Sinners. Music and lyrics by Raphael Sadiq. So
Uh,
that got my vote, but they do have a challenge. Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters, which I hate to say it, kind of my vote. But I Lied to You still does have a chance, and because he's nominated every year, like Susan Lucci, Diane Warren from a movie called Relentless that I've never heard of. It's mm,
so Billy Boom has a question for us, Jeff. She
mm.
says that Sinner's a phenomenal movie, but if you guys had to change anything in the movie, what would you have changed?
That's hard because one of the well, we discussed this on the top 10. If it wasn't a vampire movie, I wouldn't have minded. If it ended up as a gangster movie, I wouldn't have minded. I would have been like, oh, hell yeah. Or Minorities versus the Klan. Uh, but if I change one element, I'll let you go first because that's a hard question. What would I change?
Yeah. I don't think there would be much. Like I said, there's some stuff at the end that's too much like From Dusk Till Dawn that I probably would have changed up a bit or twisted up. Um, but that doesn't take away from the movie. I think it's, it stands out on its own. There was something, and I'm trying to think. It wasn't a casting choice. Um,
The Native Americans, more of them? Maybe.
uh, maybe. I don't. Yeah, I'd have to watch it again. But there was something I remember when I saw it the first time. Like this could have been a little bit different. The ending was fine. I don't know. I that one has me a little bit stumped.
Okay, we have the whole episode to come up with an answer. So if you need to blurt it out in the middle of anything, just let me know. And I'll be like, maybe that would be mine because it's a minor. Either change it to like a gangster movie. I just can't see werewolves because I was trying to say maybe if it was a different type of supernatural, but I'm like, no, not that. So I would say
Maybe one thing, they dragged out Omar Benson Miller's fate a little too slowly.
I wish he had more to do. It's also in the
Yeah.
film. Um, yeah, that would be it. I mean, I even like the ending, the years later thing,
Yeah.
especially with Michael B. Jordan in the 80s, 90s gear, with the ring and all that. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not even going to complain about him killing all the white people, the Klan. I was like,
But
this is
weird in
needed.
the theater saw it.
Yeah, it was like, yes. And we saw that with our friend Emil, while he was visiting and his first time to Nighthawk Cinema. Um, so are you picking I Lie to You from Sinners as, I guess, well, you haven't seen any of the other movies. So do you pick that for best song?
I do, but the K-pop Demon Hunters song is going to be like the way they nominated Happy for Pharrell that year. They're just going to play it just to get the audience going, but yeah, it's not really going to win anything. And there was that other song I remember they nominated years ago. That was like, oh, from the Barbie movie. It was like nobody that was never going to win.
It was catchy though. Even I'll admit
It was.
that. It did win?
No, it didn't
Oh,
win.
I
They
thought you
just
said it won.
Brian to sing live.
Anyway.
They needed this channel magic at the Oscars.
Well, I mean, come on. K-pop is a worldwide phenomenon. So, they're going to get somebody, if not the original singers, they're going to get some big name to sing it. Or I don't know if this year they're going to do like, wasn't it one year they had one singer sing all the songs? And
Yeah, maybe like a Chrisette Michelle to sing it.
no, that's another one who did not get any. A big shock, a black person who did not get anything from Trump. No, if we're going to do that, put Snoop up there with Nelly as backup.
uh,
And Rick Ross as the chorus. Since we're going with Trump's favorite people. and a little bit of Little Wayne. I hope we answered your question, Billy. You know, gets off. Obviously, this is an improv show. Okay, so best music original score: Bugonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, Sinners.
They're gonna give it to the movie that the score you didn't like, and that was
I
Sinners.
know Sinners. I'm sorry. I love Sinners. There's an answer for Billy Boom. I changed the score, not the songs. The score. I was not the biggest fan of. In a perfect world for me, One Battle After Another would win this because I really did enjoy the score and introduced me to the Jackson Five's version of Ready or Not. Um, but I wouldn't mind if Begonia. This is the one category I would vote Begonia in because I like his name is just comedy gold. Jerkson Fendrix, which sounds like somebody's Instagram handle, not a real name, or
Hey,
somebody's porno name. Hey, I'm Jerkson, girl. You know, come on, really? That's your name? I feel like he made that up. Um, Makeup and hairstyling. I'm sorry. Smashing Machine should win this category. I don't even want to mention the other ones because I'm just like, that was. I didn't see The Ugly Stepsister. I've heard it's disgusting, but I do want to see it. Maybe one day me and my stomach can stand it. The other nominees are Sinners and Frankenstein and Kokuho, another film I've never unfortunately heard of. And so, out of that, do you think Smashing Machine has a chance?
Yeah, probably not.
Okay. Um, I will say I'm not going to go through live action short film, but some of these titles, Jane Austen's period drama, and it seems like they're talking about period, and Butcher Stain, which sounds like an awesome horror film. Okay, international feature film that I know not only you, but I did not see any of these except for one. The Secret Agent, it was just an accident. That's the one I saw. Sentimental Value, Sarat, and the voice of Hind Rajab. Um, I'm not going to ask you because, again, you didn't see any of them. But Nouvelle Vague was almost nominated in this category by Richard Linklater since it's all in French. But it wasn't France's nominee. It was just an accident, which is from Iran or filmed in Iran. But the filmmaker is going to get jailed for making a film that's kind of political against Iran's politics. But if he doesn't win, that really sucks. It's like I risked my freedom for this movie, and this shit didn't get nothing. So I'm like better man than I. So film editing. This is one where I feel like you can really give your expertise on. Sinners, of course. One Battle After Another, of course. Sentimental Value, Marty Supreme, and F1.
Sinners.
Sinners, though, this is another one where if F1 made it, but I'm going to actually go against what I just said because I feel like if your movie is over 2 hours, you should automatically be eliminated from film editing category. So, like, you couldn't tell it shorter. So, and that this might be where Marty Supreme wins, but I really hope Sinners win because come on, One Battle After Another was 3 hours long, guys. Really?
But that whole
So
dance sequence, I mean, that was beautifully edited and shot. So I think it's got to get it.
I am truly hoping so. Anytime Sinners wins, an angel gets its wings. So I'm gonna be like, keep it winning. I'm not saying shut out One Battle After Another completely, but show Sinners some love. Most nominated black film of all time. And
True.
now documentary feature, even though I know this one made your top 10, so I'm taking you're picking The Perfect Neighbor.
Yeah, I'm biased on that one, even though I don't know what the other movies are, but that's the one that hit me the most.
Okay. I agree with you. Yours. I did see one of the other nominees, the Alabama Solution, which is on HBO Max, which is about prison reform. I didn't see Come See Me in the Good Night. I didn't see Cutting Through Rocks, nor Mr. Nobody Against Putin. But I agree with the sentiment. Um, we picked a Best Picture, so why not be Best Director? We You can pick somebody totally different than you pick for Best Picture, obviously. So obviously, I'm going with Ryan Coogler. It's
Yeah.
who I know Paul Thomas Anderson will probably win, but I really hope Coogler wins.
Yeah, I'm split because I mean I have my own bias. I wish I could be the guy to win the best director, but I'd rather at this point in my life be like a Spike or somebody that was a trailblazer. I'm split because I agree. I think Coogler would deserve it, but because he's done all of these IPs, I'm worried that he's going to end up having that pressure on him. But I could be wrong. He might, make more Sinners type of movies to really legitimize his career even more. But at the same time, PTA has been snubbed quite a bit. So I would say let him get it this year. Give Coogler another couple of movies, and he'll get there. But if it
Uh,
happens, hey, I'll for it.
okay, because I mean, I think like you said, if there's an outlier here, it would be Chloe Zhao with Hamnet.
Yeah, but she already has one, so it's like, why?
And then you have Josh Safdie with Marty Supreme, which the controversy we talked about at the beginning might hurt his chances. And then there's sentimental value with Joaquin Trier, whose films I normally love. I didn't see this one, admittedly, so who knows? It could be another masterpiece. Best costume design: Sinners, my choice. It's Marty Supreme, Hamnet, Frankenstein. How does Avatar get one? It's all digital.
Yeah.
It's now I feel like now you're just like trying to try. I feel like the studio's just trying to like, yay, I'll give you some payola if you put Avatar. Mm,
And I Harris wins, Marvel's going to be pissed since Ruth Carter had made all those costumes for the Blade movie that they still have not made.
that's the perfect fu.
Yep.
So I say so that makes me even want Sinners even more. Um, Look, I don't understand why Frankenstein is so heavily nominated, but again, that's me. Cinematography. I feel like we know who's going to win this one already, but it's between Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, which is done by Darius Kohaji, so that is a big name. One Battle After Another, probably the winner. Sinners and Train Dreams.
Coin toss between Sinners and One Bed After Another.
I'm going to throw Marty Supreme in there too. Like it could be either one of them. I mean, Marty Supreme's the outlier because Train Dreams in a perfect world would get would kind of win or get some recognition, but I just don't think it's going to win. And Frankenstein, I just said my statement on that film in general. Like his best thing might be sound, visual effects, art direction. you know. We're talking about the first year this category has even been instigated. Best casting in a film.
Oh.
We have Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, and Sinners. So, between Sinners and One Battle After Another, which one are you picking? I
I think I'm going to go One Battle After Another. That is still a hell of an ensemble.
mean, so is Sinners, though.
I know, but you got heavyweights with Leo, Sean Penn, Tiana Taylor was great. Tony Goldwyn.
I mean, you had more roles too in that film than you do in Sinners.
Benicio del Toro. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with One Battle After Another, but again, if Sinners won, I wouldn't be upset. Because that is quite an ensemble. Wooney, I'm not gonna say her name correctly, so you have Haley Steinfeld, you have Michael B. Jordan twice, you got Miles Caton, you got Saul Williams, you have even Jack O'Connell as the head vampire. It's like, come on, this is like you put together an awesome cast. Yeah, anime short film though. Animated feature film. I think we all know what's going to win in my vote. K-pop Demon Hunters. But the other choices are Zootopia 2, because, Pixar must get a nomination every year. Arco. Oh, Elio is the Pixar. Zootopia 2. I think it's just regular Disney. Um, and Little Amelie or the character of Rain, which I want to see because is this an animated Amelie movie? So, but yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters. I mean, Alio already was like kind of critically slapped down by Trump's boy Snoop Dogg of all people. You know, for having how dare it show lesbians, not in a romantic way, just them existing. And Zootopia 2, a sequel, really? So I'll admit the only animated films I saw last year were K-pop Demon Hunters and The Bad Guys too. So it's obviously why I'm going with K-pop. Plus, I hear it's very popular. So now we're getting into the categories you all want to hear about. Best Actress in a Supporting Role. Elle Fanning for Sentimental Value. Inga Ibsdottir Lilias for Sentimental Value. Amy Madigan for Weapons. Wunmi Musaku for Sinners. And Tiana Taylor for One Battle After Another. Mm.
Well, yeah, as I said on the show just recently, I'd be fine with either Tiana Taylor or Amy Madigan, but I think it's going to be Tiana Taylor.
Well, I mean, she's so far been winning all the awards, but I think it also might be Amy Madigan because maybe the sentimental value people will cancel each other out, and then I don't know if Tiana Taylor and Wunmi Musako as the African American nominees might cancel each other out, leaving Amy Madigan like, excuse me, getting more deserving than Jamie Lee Curtis award
They
as
had
best supporting actress.
him at the Oscars.
Well, Jamie Lee Curtis won against Angela Bassett in uh, Wakanda Forever. That was the front runner.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I'll admit Wakanda Forever hasn't aged well, but you still remember Angela Bassett in that movie. Whereas Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, great movie, but more of an ensemble piece. And Jamie Lee Curtis doesn't necessarily stick out. So, this is going to be the most controversial category. Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, who's the front runner and who I like in most things she's in. Rose Byrne, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, who I probably would vote for, and if I was a member of the Academy. Renat Rines for Sentimental Value. Right actress, wrong movie. Emma Stone, who at this point is the new Meryl Streep, because I like Begonia, but best actress, really? Like Jesse Plemons, best actor, sure, from that film, but anything else, no. And the Payola nominee, Kate Hudson for Song Blue. You guys really don't like Chase Infinity, huh? So, like, how the fudge did that happen?
Nepotism.
It must be. Now, don't get me wrong, Kate Hudson's a great actress, but really, for what looks like a perfect Amazon movie, I'm like, it didn't even get best song, or Jackman didn't even get nominated. But y'all were like, Kate Hudson, she's the shit. She has as much of an emotional landscape as Rose Byrne in If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Emma Stone, who's that? It's,
That's like nominating Anne Margaret for a movie because she fornicated with Gene Hackman.
why not? Or because she got beat up on screen playing a philanderer's wife. So I'm just like, the only reason Emma Stone got nominated because she shaved her head. I mean, good performance, but still. And I feel like, if anything, this might hurt Kate Hudson's career because I feel like she's going to be a punchline with this, especially coming off the Sia movie with the autistic, where she was being a drug dealer and taking care of her autistic sister.
Uh,
It's, I'm just like, I mean, Jesse Buckley's the front runner. If it was my choice, Rose Byrne would win. Well, what are you feeling in this category other than Kate Hudson?
yeah, I would prefer Rose Byrne, but I haven't seen the others to really make a judgment.
uh, well, Jessie Buckley deserves because she has been hammering away. But do you think The Bride might have the Eddie Murphy effect? And because I'll admit, the trailer when I first saw the teaser for The Bride, I'm like, I'm all in. Now that I've seen a more full trailer, I'm like, I'm standing back and seeing how these reviews go because it's not winning me over, despite the all-star cast. Here's one that's going to be hard for you to vote for. Actor in a supporting role. Benicio del Toro, one battle after another. Jacob I'm Pretty Alordi for Frankenstein. Delroy Lindo for Sinners. Sean Buff, I'm a Smoker Penn for One Battle After Another. Or Stellan Skarsgård, Career Achievement, Sentimental Value. And
Delroy motherfucking Lindo, who I found out just the other day, is not even born in this country. He was born in the UK.
well, I knew that. But I will.
Him and
My vote.
CJ Pounder, they
Oh,
surprise every year.
that was more of the surprise for me with CCH Founder. Especially when you hear her speak with her natural British accent. It's like, what? It's like, wait. The lady from the. It's like the lady from the Cosby Show episode of the college reunion is British. The Shield. You're British. But great character actress. But my vote goes for Delroy Lindo, but I feel like it's between Sean Penn and Stellan Skarsgård.
It's going to fucking Lindo.
We'll see. I mean, he deserves it because he got snubbed for Best Actor for what is the name of that? Oh, The Five Bloods, and
And Sean
plus
Penn
it was,
doesn't need another Oscar. He's just going to put that shit in the bathroom and then go save some kids in Africa.
or from a flood, and
Right.
his and do some weights while smoking, and um, Best Actor in a Leading Role. Timothy Chalamet, Marty Supreme, the front runner. Leonardo DiCaprio, One Battle After Another, was the front runner. It's Ethan Hawke would truly be a surprise in Blue Moon. Michael B. Jordan for playing two roles and both not IP. And Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent. And
Hello, Charlie Talbert.
ah,
Now I can't hear you.
uh,
Oh, there we go.
yeah. Of course, I get a call during this. Damn spam. Act. So, what is your pick for actor in a leading role?
Oh man,
Tough category. Is
I haven't seen Marty Supreme, but I think Chalamet's going to take it. Michael B. Jordan, as great as he was in Sinners, I think there's two issues. One is the fact that he's playing two characters, and we saw what happened last year with Demi Moore not winning for The Substance because it's one character played by two different people.
okay.
Also, it's still kind of a Michael B. Jordan type of role with both characters. I think he has to do something that surprises people to get the Oscar. But hey, if he gets it, great. I just think Chalamet, there's really not a lot of competition. The outlier for me probably would be Ethan Hawke, who would deserve it anyway.
Yeah, even if it's just a career performance,
Yeah.
but he is really good in Blue Moon. Just as Leonardo DiCaprio, another character role for him. Timothy Chalamet is good in Marty Supreme, but again, I feel like he keeps getting nominated. Like, not yet. You're still too young.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
like Susan Lucci.
I feel if he wins, he will be this generation's Dustin Hoffman. Only, I guess, better looking or cuter to the eyes of the audience. I'm again not against Michael B. Jordan. Wagner Mora, again, great actor, but I did not see The Secret Agent.
Yeah.
And, as always, Charlie Talbot robbed of a nomination for Shelby Oaks. That's actually all the categories. For some odd reason, I thought there were more categories. But if you want to talk about any movie news, feel free. We can discuss or any subjects you want to bring up,
Well, we were
movie
talking on
related.
the show about the Melania documentary and how that's faring.
Of course. I actually was like everybody else. I went to the Alamo Drafthouse website and tried to look up different locations, and it unfortunately is selling tickets in Staten Island. There's
No
four
surprise.
people. Yes, there's four people going to a 4 o'clock show tomorrow in the smallest theaters they have, and there are two people going to see it in Brooklyn. So it will have revenue, but obviously not 75 million revenue that they paid. I don't know why you would pay the subject of the documentary 40 million, which is more than the film's budget. And like Trump doesn't have his own money. What is this? Her separation money? Like, yeah, I'm gonna give you the Amazon's gonna give you 40 million, and when we make a Bond movie, you get to be in it. But first, we're gonna put you in Rush Hour 4 as a featured female. It's, yes, not the best Trump impression, but still, I tried. And um, so you're telling me you're not revving up to go see Melania by Brett Ratner?
If there's like free food and free drugs, maybe. Even though I'm not a druggie, but it might be more fun that way. Or a lifetime supply of booze just to sit through however long it's going to be. Yeah. Well, the other thing we didn't touch on is that most of the crew took their name off this movie. They don't want to be associated with this bullshit or Mr. Ratner. So it's essentially just a favor for the president we did not vote for, and simply to appease from Amazon because they need to get their money too, just like all the other multinational companies in the United States that are essentially destroying democracy and killing people relentlessly. I don't like it. It's just a vanity project that nobody gives a shit about. And obviously, the trade off is, oh, yes, we get to make Rush Hour 4, a movie nobody's screaming for. Even back in 2007, there were more people waiting to see Superbad than to see Rush Hour 3. Chris Tucker hasn't signed up for this yet, unless he might be in those Epstein files for all we know. And
I'm
Jackie,
like,
I
what?
don't, you saw Karate Kid. You see how old he is.
I'm like, what else does Chris Tucker have to do?
He had the one Netflix special and nothing else after that.
I'm like, was he in the Rip? Because Ben Affleck didn't use him. Well, even though it's not made by Ben Affleck, but Ben Affleck wasn't like, yo, we need a snitch character. Chris Tucker. Tiana Taylor's in it. Chris Tucker was a no-show. Billy Boom and Charlie Talbot. We need to hang out in the future soon, and we need to have you both on the show again. Um, but yeah, when it comes to Melania, it's gonna be like that South Park episode that criticized Scientology and Tom Cruise, and nobody wanted to be credited in that episode. I'm just like you said, it's a vanity project. Nobody cares. It'll disappear. Um, any other movie news or subjects you want to talk about?
No, that's all I could think of.
Sorry, guys. I thought the Oscar nominations would take up more time, so we only got the smallest of movie news. So we got a short show for you for once, not a full hour. But I thank you, everybody who watched the live show, and all the people who eventually will watch this when it's posted. Thank you to Charlie Talbot. Thank you to Billy Boom as the live watchers. And as always, you guys can ask questions. We will gladly answer any movie questions, maybe some personal, as long as it's not too personal. I unfortunately am not a porn star and tell you everything. And But hey, if you ever see me on OnlyFans, hey, I appreciate the audience. I am not there yet.
Mm.
My feet have some stuff to be done to them. But
And I want to actually thank Charlie Tauber for paving the way for us to, all these guests that we've had on the show since we interviewed you. And I actually got to help him with an audition recently, which was really cool. So thank you for that.
awesome. And yes, he was one of our first big name guests. And he volunteered. We didn't have to chase as hard as sometimes we have to. Larry B. Scott.
Yeah. Where the hell are you, Larry?
Larry B. Scott and the gentleman Daniel Waters. We're still waiting. I'm still sending these requests, but we appreciate all our guests: Charlie Talbert, friend, buddy, Billy Boom, get friend of the show. Brittany Carney, wherever you are out there, I think in Philly right now, and to the year ahead, we hope to keep bringing you great episodes, more reviews, more great interviews. Um, and thanks for tuning in. Guys, you guys are crazy, man. You guys are awesome, crazy, man. And I don't think we'll have Pauly Shore ever on the show, but I never say never. I did grow up with his cinema. So until next time, we bid you all adieu.